Hey, what's up everyone, this is TNG Street Rider, and this is the Marvel Hero gameplay highlights featuring Emma Frost, the White Queen. Okay, so if you've heard of Emma Frost, she is the White Queen. She is a telepath, and she also has this interesting ability to turn into a diamond and gain super strength and things like that. So in the game, this is her diamond form, and when you use a telekinetic attack, she switches back to normal. Now, I don't want to go over every single skill, but in order to let you know the ones that I'm personally using, I use Diamond Smash for her basic attack, or melee. I use Diamond Whirlwind as kind of a get out of jail free move. It's an AoE and it actually lets her pass through targets. I use Telepathic Vortex as her main AoE clear move. It's probably the only move that I would suggest to everyone to have, no matter what. For single target damage on bosses especially, I use Drain Psych. I use Inspire Minion because I do actually mix all three of the talent trees. And then the last move is actually Psychic Domination, which is just her basic level 1 skill. It just lets her tame a minion. As you can see, he's been over there killing stuff. So what I use for her right now, I actually don't use Grand Nightmare. It does a lot of damage, but I haven't really found a need for it so far because she is just so powerful in the way that I've built her. And by no means do you need to copy this build. This is not an ideal build. It's just that I didn't want to specifically focus on one of the 3 trees, but rather I wanted my own unique mix. And I highly encourage all of you guys to try different things out and mix them together to find out what type of Emma build you like. This is another Frenzied Confusion, actually a really fun power. I just don't have a use for it. Maybe if you want to go more towards minions, then that's what you can look into. However, just so you get an idea of what I'm working at, I am level 33 currently. I do have 4 pieces of cosmic gear, and I do have a costume that is more or less completely upgraded. I do have 5 stacks on my relic, which is something that may be new to 1.2. And of course, just standard artifacts and medallions. But let's go ahead, we're going to do some killing. Now these these mobs are of equal level to her, so I'm not doing an amazing, I'm not fighting anything like super hard or super easy. These are the same level. And as you can see, I choose to leave them. This is Taskmaster Daily. It is what you do when you are done with the main story. Of course, there is a nice surprise at 1.2, I won't spoil it. But let's just say they've added some more gameplay modes, so you don't have to do these if you don't want to anymore. As you can see, I moved through this very quickly, kind of mowed things down, and my cosmic gear allows me to summon even more minions, and it's just, she is an absolute beast. As you can see, I mostly play her right now as range, just because my melee minions just wreak havoc. And there's no real need for me to get I'm Emma Frost, why do I need to get over the mix, you know? But she can, if you really want to. She does amazing melee damage as well as amazing range damage. So really, you know, build her the way you want to build her. Don't just try to copy anybody else. You know, retcons are pretty easy to get, so I encourage you to just try multiple builds, find what you like. Her range build, as far as I can tell, plays a lot like a Storm or a Hawkeye. Some people would say Jean Grey, but Jean Grey is much more focused on her Phoenix form, in my opinion. So it's not the same level of. I'm not really sure, but basically, she's much more in line with like a Hawkeye or a Storm. A few couple powers, but a lot of her damage will come from her basic ranged attack. her melee form is actually very interesting. If you've ever played Colossus in this game, uh, basically her main move is an AoE clone that hits everything in front of her, as you can see right now, and it does a ton of damage. And then you can see this bar raising. Now this bar is the same exact bar that Colossus has, but hers is called a Diamond Armor, and as you can see it reduces 50% of incoming damage while she's in Diamond. And it increases based upon your maximum health and how many diamond powers you have. So it's really a very large damage mitigation tool that you'll want to use with her, and make sure it stays as full as often as possible if you decide to go with tanking. Now here I am using my Colossus Legs Diamond Spin, it's called Diamond Whirlwind. Very strong power. It does a ton of damage already, and it's only at rank 10. It does 1361 twice per second. It actually gives me haste, which gives me more move speed. However, it is kind of an endurance hog, costing 20 per second. I use it, I like it for what I use it for, which is getting out of shield when I am surrounded by tons of mobs and have nowhere else to go. But, you know, other people may want to sub it out for something like a Frenzied Confusion, which will pour all the mobs run away, or even her Fear, which she gets, I believe at level 20. So here we go. I'm going to go up to Taskmaster and I'm going to show you just how amazing her single target DPS is on bosses.
Alright, looks like class is in session.
And as you can see here, I'm going ahead and hit F for my Inspired Minion, makes my minion grow very large, and while he's tanking, I'm going to hit D for Drain Psyche, and look at this, I mean, already gone. She just does an absolute amazing amount of DPS, and she is, so far, one of the better soloers in the game. Again, this is a look at her complete tree. And you know what? I'm actually going to go show you guys Grand Nightmare really quick before I go over to the pure gameplay footage. She is going to launch with patch 1.2, which is supposed to be coming out the week of Labor Day week. They haven't said whether it's going to be the first or not, but it's supposed to be out very soon. So here's Grand Nightmare. As you see, she summons 3 mental image constructs. They last for a very interesting amount of time. They do a lot of damage per hit. Oh, I'm sorry, they last 35 seconds. So she is a pet class through and through. She does tons of damage. You can have, let's see, with my minion right now, he only has by himself, but I can summon up to an additional 3 of the ghouls, which are these guys right here, the demons, because of my cosmetic gear. And she also, there are pets later on in the game that can actually summon even more pets. So you can actually run around like a necromancer in some other games and just have your own personal army. She's really interesting, really diverse, and I highly recommend you guys pick her up. She is, I'm not actually sure how many splinters she's going to be. Let me go check that right now for you guys. And I'll also show off her costumes real quick, which I do have. She's going to be launching with 3 costumes, by the way. She comes with her modern costume, her White Queen costume, which is kind of her classic costume in the 90s comics, and she also launches with the costume that I am using right now, which is her new X-Men costume, which is, I like it the best because it doesn't have a cape. I'm not really much one for capes, but, you know, to each his own. So, Emma, here are her other costumes.
Wade, please stop mentally undressing me. It's distracting.
White Queen and her modern. Go over here where you guys can just see only her. Hopefully not through the glass. And this is her modern costume. This is the costume you get when you buy her normally. Okay. And her White Queen costume. Not much of a change in my opinion, just a corset and a bikini bottom. And then my favorite costume, which is the one that I'm currently using, is the new X-Men costume. And let's see here. Go over and check with Gambit to see just how much she is. So, 400 Eternity Splinters, which means she's going to be a 900 point character at launch. So 900 points is... Okay, obviously this doesn't want to load. 900 points is about 10 bucks. So you can actually pre-order her now through the Marvel Heroes website, and for 16 bucks you will get the character, her stash, and 2 out of her 3 costumes, which you will get the modern and you will get the White Queen. This is actually, the new X-Men is actually another 10 bucks. So that is completely up to you if you're willing to spend that money. She is definitely a fun character though. If you have the Eternity Splinters, I would definitely go ahead and purchase her. If you do not have the Eternity Splinters, you know, and you don't have many other characters, 10 bucks, she's definitely a versatile character that will let you play many different types of roles within the game. So that's it for this Marvel Heroes preview of Emma Frost, the White Queen. She's the newest addition to Marvel Heroes and should be available this week. Okay, enjoy the rest of the gameplay.
Welcome to your